Ladies and gentlemen, we have been blessed this fine Wednesday, the 20th of July, 2022. As you can see here, we have an Activity Advisor Phase 1 weekly game update. Mod Light just dropped this 15 hours ago, so we're a little late, but we're going to go through this. I'll upload it the same day, hopefully. All this is to help players of all levels find suitable content to try. Introducing the Activity Advisor. This in-game tool will highlight activities relevant to your account by measuring your progress and seeing what big, exciting content is in store next. It automatically tallies up your skill levels, quest status, recent activity, and other essential stats to figure out what adventures you might be interested in. For the moment, the Activity Advisor only suggests quests, but we expect to include skills, minigames, and other categories in the future. For now, the Activity Advisor is only available to the select accounts as part of an initial testing period. Provided this goes well, we'll use player feedback to make changes before it becomes available to all accounts. Available and target content. There are two categories for content you can find in the Activity Advisor: available content and target content. Available content is a range of activities that can get you stuck into right now, that you can get stuck into right now because you meet all the necessary skills and requirements. So it's things you can currently do. The target content is a milestone activity in a progression moments that you're close to but don't quite have the requirements for. So there's two different versions. You know what I mean? You can go, what do I want? Do I want to do something that I already have unlocked, or do I want to do something new that I don't have the requirements for, but I'm really close to doing? So that's big. You know, you break it down right there into two sections, and that already makes it a hell of a lot easier to figure out what to do for the player. So I really like that. Quest section. In the quest section, you'll be able to see quests you've met the requirements for, as well as quests you're close to being able to start. This section will prioritize quests that give you access to important unlocks like fairy ring teleports or progression equipment. We've noticed that one of the most common early game struggles is getting around. For example, so we hope that pointing new or returning players in the direction of useful teleports and other unlocks will reduce the time they spend schlepping from one side of Gielinor to the other. Future selections include skills, utility, and miscellaneous, which would cover skills, run energy, and teleports, and clues and minigames, respectively. Does this cover all the bases? We want to know. Share your thoughts on these categories through the usual channels. So they have a little mock-up here, which I really like. It's already awesome. It's similar to what they've been doing with the leagues events and stuff like that, and combat achievements. But this already looks awesome. So you got quests, free-only quests. I mean, it's a decent mock-up. I think what we're looking at is basically, what you need for skills. So yeah, +2 skills. You already have this, so they basically tell you what this does. Priest Apparel will give you access to Mauritania, and he has all the requirements. Druidic Ritual will unlock the Herblue skill, has all the requirements. And then Fremnic Trials, the requirements for this. And if you open it up, it'll tell you, like, so Taibo One Eye, you need 7 more levels in firemaking. This is just hypothetical, obviously. And then 1 more quest level, and then you can learn how to cook and catch Karambwans in Taibo One Eye just by completing this quest, which is really big. I think this is pretty cool. I think this is a good start. It's a decent mock-up. It's not perfect, obviously. And I think in the future you have like several tabs here. It's basically a combat, it's a combat diary paced UI, which is fine. I think one thing that old school has struggled with is like continuity and keeping things like in the same stratosphere. Like you got like hard mode Tob, corrupted gauntlet, normal gauntlet, and then challenge mode Chambers of Xeric. Like raids is already like completely out of the board, not to mention how smithing works. Like continuity in the game is so not natural, so I'm glad to see some continuity, at least in the UI. I'm glad. I don't want them to introduce a whole new UI that doesn't look anything like any other UI that we have to relearn. Keep it simple, make it look just like the combat achievements if you have to. Make it easy to access. We already know how to use it. On release, it won't be like learning a whole new interface. It's just the same thing we already know. The words are different. I think that's good. And on top of it, it has this view journal thing, so I think that is where the expansion will come in. So it keeps it simple to the eye, which is good. So first time login. If you're selected to be a part of the A/B testing, you'll see this pop in on your next login. I did not get this, unfortunately, but it's okay. Please note this pop-up will go away automatically if you engage in combat. If you're one of the lucky ones to access the Activity Advisor early, we'd love to hear your thoughts about it. We're very keen to improve the new and returning player experience, and every bit of feedback helps. Yeah, hopefully everybody goes ham, whoever got it. So obviously, look, it has a little icon right below the spec bar here. It's got this little Activity Advisor. That's where it's going to be, but I think. All right, so now, here we go. Final notes. Suitable activities are based on a number of factors, not just the fastest route to account progression or XP. We want to help people find the activities they'll enjoy the most, and that's not necessarily the content with the most efficient grind. True. We also want to point out that players are encouraged to play the game in whichever way suits them. The Activity Advisor is a tool to highlight activities people might enjoy, not a definitive path for players to take. Awesome. We'll be discussing the Activity Advisor in more detail on our Twitch channel on Thursday the 21st of July at 17 British Standard Time, 1700 British Standard Time. Alright, so that's going to be tomorrow, probably around when this video will drop, roughly. And yeah, lastly, the Activity Advisor is intended to complement the OS Wiki, not replace it. We highly recommend having a read-through of their fantastic guides as you decide what to tackle next. Good. I didn't even feel that it was an attack on it, but other people might think otherwise. So, anything else going on in this blog post? Yeah, we have some PvP arena feedback changes. Here we go. I guess we might as well just hop into it and, you know, go brush through. I mean, we're shortly done here. There's only a little bit of the scroll bar left here. We're almost done. But I'm really excited. I think the Activity Advisor, you know, my final thoughts on the initial, you know, mock-up of it. I think it's a great idea because I think so many people, whether you play the game every day or you play it like once or twice a week, or you go and you don't play it for a year, everybody like logs in and then like says, I don't know what to do, or they're overwhelmed with things to do, and then they log back out. Having some fucking pop-ups saying, yo, go do this, yo, go do that, would be perfect. You know what I mean? Yo, go do this and you unlock that. Okay. Go do this and you unlock that. Oh, you already have this done. Go do this. You could possibly get this done. It's like chef kiss. I think if they really perfect it down, it could be huge, because even people that log in every day could have fun with it. It could, I don't know, depending on how good they make it. But I think it's big. But yeah, let's move on. So next we have the PvP arena feedback changes. First up, players can now configure the types of runes they take into the PvP arena using the configure option on the rune pouch. Please note, however, that the spellbook interface will also show spells requiring runes provided by items such as fire runes provided by the Tome of Fire. The Bow of Ferdinand has been removed from the loadout chest. Players have raised concern about its power being disproportionate to other offerings like the Zerite crossbow. This is a change we'll be keeping a close eye on and would be happy to revert if needed, but we hope this is a bit more balanced. Good. And this is what the new interface looks like for whatever PvP arena supplies you want to do with your rune pouch. Cool. We've also added a button which lets you copy your opponent's loadout in unranked duels. Sick! This is lit. This is lit, dude. Who wants to fight me in an unranked duel? Copy my loadout, dude. 1v1. It's fair 1v1s just for fun. I think that's dope. Next, the elo system was disproportionately affecting players with large rank gaps, so we've adjusted the way that rank points scale in uneven fights. This means that players winning against weaker opponents will gain fewer rank points. Players losing against stronger opponents will lose fewer rank points. Players winning against stronger opponents will gain more rank points, and players losing against weaker opponents will lose more rank points. Lastly, we've reduced the price of the Imbue Scrolls from 500 reward points to 200, so that players can obtain more of them for use on the go. Cool. We will refund reward points to players who have already bought scrolls upon their next login. Oh, that's sick! That's a nice little touch. Cool. So now, create with confidence, our fan content policy. This is big. Our community is a huge part of what makes our game amazing. Let's just read this slowly. We appreciate that players may therefore want to use game content to make awesome things like YouTube videos, Twitch content, custom creations, or even coverings of RuneScape songs. We're keen to encourage your creativity, and we love to see the wonderful works you come up with. We're also aware that there's been some confusion in the past over what is and isn't accessible, especially when it comes to physical creations such as plushies and models, and this can make things a little intimidating. To make things simpler in the future, we'd like to introduce you to a brand new Jagex fan content policy. What is the fan content policy? Our fan content policy is clear, publicly accessible guide to what you can and can't do with our content as a fan of RuneScape or old school RuneScape. Why does this exist? To encourage creativity by giving you transparency. We have an amazing creative community, and we want to empower you to produce great things. To do that, we need to be clear on what is already permitted and what in what circumstances you would need to reach out and apply for additional permission. What does the fan content policy cover, and who does it apply to? This policy covers a whole host of subjects, including YouTube content, music, fan art, fan fiction, and 3D objects and printing, as well as making stuff to sell, making games, and third-party clients. Provided you follow the rules and policy, you can create your own content and merch however you wish. For example, under certain conditions, you're allowed to make and sell up to 100 units of a piece of merch, create covers and remixes of RuneScape and old school RuneScape songs, write short stories of up to 15k words. What? 15k words? Use it's a specific amount. Use our 3D models in short animated films and accepted a paid commission to create a piece of game-inspired fan art. For more details on all the above, please take time to read the fan content policy in full. Especially if you're a creator who uses visuals, music, in-game models, or anything else RuneScape or old school RuneScape. Really excited to see our community. This was the most vague post right here. This was short as frick too. Look how short it was. And then it links you to just a new policy thing that's... It's literally the same thing over us. Alright. But whatever. We're just gonna move on for now. I hope they make another post on this that goes deeper into meaning, because all I've heard and what I just experienced is this is super vague. Maybe I read that on my own time and figure it out, because I think it's just stupid. I think it's random, but why does it exist? That's all I'm trying to figure out. Alright, let's just look at the other changes and wrap the video up. The most valuable player is now broadcast at the end of each next fight, which is really cool. That's dope. In other news, the most valuable player is now broadcast at the end of each next fight. Cool. The color of the Theater of Blood Master Clue sliding puzzle background is now easier to differentiate from the sliding pieces. I saw someone tweet about this on Twitter, obviously, and I think that's a pretty cool little change. I haven't run into any problems because I use the plugin for that, and it just does it all for me, but, you know, I'm glad it exists. The seed box now lists its content in chat when checked, even if the interface doesn't remain open. If it is open, the list will appear when closing the interface, thus giving the most up-to-date status of the box. The message is filtered as spam. Cool. There's now a left-click cook option on the fancy range in a player-owned house. This becomes a right-click option if there's a kettle on the stove, as tea always comes first. Wait, what? You can now cook food in your own house? Wait, why? Wait, what? That's pretty sick. I wonder what's going to come of this. Huh. And finally, Lanthus no longer appears on the Dead Man world, as he sometimes got in the way of fights in his lobby. Awesome. And now, last but not least, the PvP rotation. And that is it. So that is your Reddit recap. I'm excited for the changes with the activity advisor, and the small changes at the end were actually pretty cool with the next, and the player on house thing I think is exciting. I'm just gonna wait out this fan content policy thing. Hopefully something comes up and, you know, get some clarification on the stream tomorrow. But yeah, thanks for watching the YouTube video. Make sure you give it a like and sub. I will be streaming live on Twitch. You can find links to the post I just went over in the description below, as well as a link to my stream. And most likely I'm live right now when you watch this video. So thanks for watching, and peace out.